Okay, people. So it is January 6, 2018 at 12:30 in the morning. So we're just going into the day. And what's happening here, people, is I don't really know. I kind of slept for most of the day today. Do you see all this? This is the website that I work on, right? Because I founded a nonprofit back in 2000. Because back in those days, my life was very good, and I wanted to give back to the community, and I wanted to reach as many kids as I could, right? In terms of Canada and the United States, right? Because Canadian kids back in those days, you know, they had a fighting chance. Not so much anymore, at least in this province, British Columbia, Canada, since the BC Liberal government went through it and just kind of, it was like a mass destruction of mayhem for hundreds of thousands of people so they could get rich with their buddies, basically. So besides that point, you know, fast forward up into 2015, 16, 17, well, really 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, like, you know, it's been nothing but trauma. I don't want to say drama. I want to say trauma. You know, my family has been through so much trauma that you can't even imagine. So all this stuff here is like really just kind of been put on the back burner. And it's coming up for a federal review this year. And, you know, I'm sure the Duncan clan and their affiliates are, you know, feeling pretty proud of themselves that they sabotaged an international nonprofit for, you know, for themselves, right? Because they are the only ones who benefited what happened to Uncle John and the rest of his immediate family, right? They didn't care what happened to us. They didn't care what happened to John as long as they got what they wanted. In partnership with the corporations that they were dealing with in order to get what they wanted. Which is kind of like bringing me to this conversation here, right, in terms of these corporations. Because these corporations are, in fact, sabotaging this as well. Because, you know, the stuff that's been going on with Uncle John has, like, been 3 years now, people. You know, we're coming into February. It's like 3 years, right? And, you know, when I went downtown on Thursday, right? And, you know, I did what I did down there in terms of, you know, trying to get this appeal going, which has a snag in it because there was a paper that needed to be signed by the lawyer. And then it's got to be, go in front of the judge that dismissed it, and he's got to sign it or something, I don't know, before I can get a motion to go in front of somebody in the appeal court to make it so that I don't have to pay the $200 for the appeal process, right? Because when I put in the notice of claim for Fraser Health Authority and CIBC Bank, and because it was so many pages, I couldn't do it through, you know, that subsidy where, you know, if you're poor, you don't have to pay, right? I had to pay $200 per notice of claim to file them as is because there was too many pages, and that was the only way they would take it. It was if I paid for it. And of course, we know that Fraser Health Authority is just trashing it, right? They don't take anything serious, people, because as long as they get their dollar bottom line, right, they don't give a shit about anything or anybody. That's pretty apparent, right? You know, God forbid if I ever end up in the hospital, people, honest to God, I don't know how I'll be treated, but I can tell you right now, I won't be treated good, right? If anything, something bad will happen to me, just because my file is flagged. And just of the things that have happened in the past, in terms of, like, not getting my eyeglasses in a timely manner, and then being played off like, well, why didn't you call? Well, I did, but you didn't allow me when I did, just all the things that I've talked about in the past, right? So, I don't know what's going to happen with that. I have to go back downtown, I guess, on Monday or Tuesday and reset a different date for this motion, because the lawyer for Fraser Health is on holidays, and he's not going to be back for a couple of weeks. And then, he has to sign that paper, and then it's going to take another week. And I can't do anything with this appeal court until I can go in front of these judges or a judge or whoever to get that motion passed so that I can put forward my appeal. Which, what they do, people, is they give you these little mini court settings where you gotta spit out everything in like 10, 15, 20 minutes in terms of what happened, how it happened, why it happened, and why you have a right to continue on with the trial. But they're not listening because they're too busy listening to the corporation as the corporation convolutes the storyline in terms of, well, in this court case, the doctor had the duty to the patient, even though the patient, in this case, has nothing to do with Mr. Duncan. But we're going to use this court case anyway as the example to justify not going forward, because we don't want to know the truth, because we already know the truth. We just don't want the court to know the truth. We don't want the public to know the truth. We don't care what happened to Uncle John. We don't care what happened to Uncle John's immediate family. We don't care about anything. All we care about is making it so that we can do it again to the next freaking patient and not be held accountable for it. Basically, people. And the judge, just because it's a corporation and the lawyer is smooth talking and, got a low tone and, can throw in a case file that, puts bad light on me, right? Then they don't just rush you. You got 5 more minutes to talk. Hurry up, finish up. Okay, you're done. No, it's dismissed. Well, that's probably what's going to happen again, people. When I go in front of that, I guess an appeal board is 3 judges, right? And Fraser Health is going to come in with the same old honky-donkey bullshit. Oh, well, here's another court case, It says the doctor has the duty to the patient, even though we don't know what happened to the patient. Even though we do know what happened to the patient because we've been listening to Judy Charney for the last 3 years, but we don't want to admit what happened to the patient by any means necessary, right? So we're just going to start accusing her all over again of slanderous shit, right? Convince you, the judge or judges, right, that she doesn't have a case. Even though we're not allowing her to put forward the case in a trial, she just doesn't have one. She's a nuisance. I'll just file another one, people. I will just file another one. That's what will happen. Some people are already oh yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah, well, the last judge that dismissed the case said I could. And even if he said I couldn't, I'd do it anyway, people. So my life is ruined. My life is ruined because you know why? When I went to that CIBC bank lawyer place, that dude stood there and said, well, do you really want to take it to court? These things can take 3 to 5 years. And I'm like, well, I'm 55 right now. Another 5 more years won't kill me. But it might. But we got a backup plan on that one. I reminded my daughter yesterday or Thursday, I guess it was Thursday when we went out because today's now Saturday because we're in the wee hours of the morning, right? I reminded her, I'm putting my life insurance in your name, and when I die, if this shit isn't settled, you go get a lawyer with that money. That's what you do. And you keep on doing what we're doing. Because we're not going to let these people get away with it. We're not. We're not. They can't, you don't go to the hospital and get fucked up and then disappear to get fucked up even more. Okay? And if you do, and you got somebody batting in your corner, and that person dies, well, the ball will still be picked up by somebody else. So I said, 5 years. What's 5 years? Okay, no problem. Well, what do you want? And I'm like, well, what do you mean, what do I want? This is what this lawyer was asking me. Well, what is it that you want? We can't get Uncle John back. Well, he didn't say Uncle John, but, we can't get John back. Well, obviously not. I know you guys can't get John back, but Fraser Health can. In the Fraser Health lawsuit, it's specifically at the top. We want to go see him. That's what we want at the very, very top of order sought, right? Order sought. We asked to see him. We asked to see him in private without these funky fucking nurses hovering around with their code white bullshit crap, so that we can reconnect with him and find out what it is that he really wants after he realizes who we are and he remembers. He actually gets a chance to remember. And I'm telling you, people, if he wants to come home, we're going to find a way to bring him home. That falls more on Fraser Health Authority's shoulders, because he disappeared under the healthcare system. Right? And they can go find him if they want to find him bad enough, but they don't want to find him, because once they find him, they'll find out the truth, and they won't want to admit to the truth of what they've done to him and his immediate family. And that's why they keep trying to throw it out of court with convoluted freaking suppositions that distract away from the truth, with their little mini trials that prosecute, find you guilty, and then throw you away into the dungeon of suspicion for the rest of your life. Cast a big fucking cloud on you. Right? And then they don't expect you to come back and fight. It didn't work the first time, so what makes you think it's going to work again? It's not. Right? So, I said, well, find out what the hell happened. Oh, it's not our fault. Yeah, it is your fault. It is your fault, because if you guys would have done your damn job, it would have been much harder for those people on the other end to do what they did. They would have had to go through legal channels in order to take over Uncle John's assets. And if the public guardian and trustee would have gotten involved, right? Then if Uncle John wanted to still live out here versus being put in some fucking dungeon and chained up like some criminal, right? Just to be tortured, because that's what happened, people. Maybe not in medieval times, in terms of putting them on a stretcher and stretching the crap out of them. But in modern times, freaking right. He wasn't waterboarded, but he definitely was tortured. It's just a new form of torture. Right? So, at least he would have been able to be out here in some freaking care home. And we'd be able to see him. We'd be visiting him regularly. Right? If not daily. Right? And if his family really wanted to see him, they would have came out and seen him. But the thing is, they never wanted to see him, people, because the whole time he lived on the mainland, they never freaking came, not even once. And the only one time that they did come was in 2007 when he had his prostate, and that was one sister. The one sister that he liked, Carol. And she came for 1 day, and that was it. 1 day out of 23 years, one person came over to the mainland to see him. Well, he was going back and forth, visiting Joan back in the day, visiting his mother, and then when Joan moved over here, he didn't have such a need to go over there except go visit his mother, and that was it. But those people never once, none of them, in 23 years, except for that one time, that one sister came to visit him. So, they didn't take him because they wanted to visit him, people. Because if that was the case, they would have fucking hopped on the ferry, paid their little $35, and came over and visited him. Nothing was stopping them except them. Right? So yeah, that's what the bank did. They made it so that they could take him over there, and he disappeared and got waterboarded. He got tortured with modern day torture. To the point where he lost all his memory. And now he's sitting away, tucked away like some dirty secret for these corporations. Well, this guy's standing there asking me what I want. Trying to make it sound like it's money. Well, you know, I want people to lose their jobs. That's what I told him. And then he started singling out that one good manager. The one fucking good manager that actually fucking did his job. What's he gonna do? Go after the good manager and leave all the crooks fucking to carry on with their crooked behavior? And their crooked activity? Their criminal activity that falls under the Criminal Code of Canada? No, you go after the ones that broke the laws. The federal laws. The ones that formed their little criminal organization to prop up their portfolios. To prop up their own personal portfolios. Oh, well, the bank's not interested in $500 a month. I said, are you kidding me? I said, of course they are. How do you think they build wealth? Right? You know? For every $500 off of every old person that they make millions and billions. It's just one chip off the old block. Right? Because I called him on it. Your bank took bribe. That's what it did. It took a freaking bribe. No, it didn't. I said, yes, it did. Well, what do you want? What do you want? Eventually, I just said, well, it is a lawsuit. It says $10 million right there. He started laughing. I laughed too. Because it made him freaking nervous. Right? Well, you don't want to go to court. It'll be there for 3 to 5 years. Well, I'm 55. I guess I'll see you in 5 years from now in court. If you want to take it there. If you want to take it there, we'll go there with it. I'm 55. I've got nothing left to live for, people. My life is fucking ruined. They're ruining my nonprofit. They basically ruined my profit. They have slandered me so much between these two corporations and this clan that they've partnered up with to protect that profit that I don't have a life anymore. I don't. So what's 5 more years? Right? It's already been 3. And then before that, it was all that bullshit going on with what happened to my daughter, my oldest daughter, that has completely ruined her life, turned her into a damn zombie, dying out in the streets now. And I'm helpless to help her. Right? Completely helpless. Well, the rest of my kids are, like, suffering from deep depression, right? Because there's that Uncle John cloud always hanging over us. Never know when the freaking vampires are going to strike, right? All you have to do is go back into my videos. You'll see those vampires just pop up out of nowhere. They fly in and fly out like freaking clockwork, right? To protect the corporation. More than one. To protect the clan. To protect that money train. To protect that criminal organization. It only takes 3 to make a criminal organization. If you notice, I'm sitting here by myself. Where is the other 2 in my life? There isn't, people. But you go into those corporations and it's like a freaking food chain. One after another, after another, after another. Like I said, group hypnosis. Everybody drooling over Uncle John's fucking money. Even though they'll never be able to touch it, even if they wanted to. casting a bad light on me. When all we wanted was for him to come home. That's all. Just get back to our life. Right? You know, it was pretty rough looking after Joan. It was hard on everybody. It was hard on John. It was hard on the kids. It was extremely hard on me. But we did it. And then we started just trying to get back our own life, because Joan was with us for 5 years, caused nothing but freaking trouble, you know, with her mental illness and her sickness and all this other crap that she put us through, right? And then after she left and she died and everything, you know, we were just starting, and Andre came home, we were just starting to get back our life, people. And they turn around and they did this. And now they want to tippy-toe around in many little court settings and just, you know, use my inexperience, my not feeling well, you know, my poverty, my just, you know, being vulnerable in general, right, against myself and my family, and continue to abuse Uncle John. Continue to abuse Uncle John. So they can abuse somebody else. Because that's what's going to happen, people. If these corporations are not held accountable for what they've done, they will continue to abuse other people. So, I don't know what this bank lawyer wants from me in terms of what he thinks I want, because first of all, I'm not experienced to know what I want. All I know is what happened and how it was wrong. And I also know that what Fraser Health is doing is wrong. And if the bank wants to play the same card as Fraser Health and drag it out, right, to play games and accuse me of things, I'm not saying that's what they're doing. They haven't really done anything yet. They've just been sitting on it. Asking me now what I want. Well, I want people to lose their jobs, and I don't want the good manager to lose the job. I want the fucking crooks and the criminals to lose their job. I want the shady people, the ones that lied, the ones that forged the paperwork, to lose their jobs. Who forged the documents? Who accused me of allegations that weren't true as they were forging documents. That's what I want, are those people to lose their jobs. And if it goes to court, then those people can go to fucking jail. Because if it goes to court, somebody will go to jail. Because these are laws that were broken under the Criminal Code of Canada, which warrants jail time. Right? Same thing with Fraser Health. Some of those people need to lose their jobs or go to jail. Seriously. So I don't know what's going to happen between now and the next 3 to 5 years, people. Right? I have to find a balance in here. I'm trying to talk to some people in the United States up in the Texas area, right? Telling them that we have to take chances because my life is ruined. My life is ruined. Okay? But it doesn't mean that the nonprofit has to be ruined. Right? And we need to take some chances just to make sure that, this does what it's supposed to do. Because the corporations, they don't give a shit. Right? That's not their business to help people. These corporations, is not their business to help people. So, I don't know. It's hard to do positive things, talk about positive things, try and be positive when you are positive, even though you don't feel positive. be motivation, be motivated. And it's very hard to do these kind of things when you're so over there with the negative crap. Right? So I don't know. 3 to 5 years. That's a long time. But 3 years has already gone by. So if you've invested 3 years into it, doing another 5 should be a breeze. If they want to take it there. Right? Now in my dream, I'm going to end it on this one. Because the last time I went to court, the judge asked me if Uncle John was alive. And I said I didn't really know. I looked online to see if I could find an obituary. I couldn't find one. I felt that at some point he was really restless and, he wasn't feeling very well and he was in a very dark spot. Didn't mean he died, it just could be meaning that he was just very sick and feeling very lonely. Right? Because I'm sure he's feeling very lonely. But in my dream, he wasn't dead. He was on his stomach, wanting to get up. And I was standing behind him. And those 3 women, the one with the bowl cut hair like that, kind of blondish, with the 2 beside her, right, weren't letting him get up. Told him that he couldn't get up, that he was staying where he was. And I was behind him saying, no, that's not happening. He wants to get up. He wants to get up. Like, it's on. It's on. He's getting up. And we're going to find out what's happening with him, and he's going to get up. I don't know who was behind me, people. Okay? I was just looking in front of me. And he was struggling to get up. And he wanted me to help him to get up. And he was alive. So I'm going to go on my dream that he's still alive. And we're going to get to that point where I'm there to help him get up. And then once he gets up, he will let me know where he wants to go. And wherever it is that he wants to go, I am going to help him get there to it. Okay? I've been looking after Uncle John for a very, very, very long time. And that's something that Fraser Health Authority wants to ignore and trash. Because they want to protect their bottom dollar line. Right? So I don't know what's going to happen with this appeal court stuff, because it's just like it's just I don't know. It's just little mini trials that are meant to throw things out of court so it doesn't go to trial. That's how I'm starting to view this stuff. Okay? Right? It's easier to throw it out than to have it to go to trial. Because once it goes to trial, the real truth comes out. And once the real truth comes out, then Uncle John's going to get up. That's what's going to happen, people. And if he wants to come back to the mainland, even if he can't move into the house, and he's got to be in a care home, he's coming back to the mainland, and the kids and I will be visiting him with Andre and whoever all the time. But if he wants to come home and be with the family, his family, then we'll find a way to get a house that will accommodate his needs, and he's coming home. So in the meantime, he is alive, and I'm going to go on that dream that it's going to be a standoff. And once we get to that standoff, Uncle John is going to stand up, and he's going to walk away from those bitches.